Coping with change, day to day. Uncertainty and change are hard for anyone, but autistic people find uncertainty and change especially difficult. Something that seems to others like a small change or even a fun surprise.
Hello.
Can be overwhelming to us. It can help to give extra time to adapt. For autistic people, it can often seem as if things are happening much too fast. It can help to give an autistic person extra time to get used to changes. After a while, the new situation will become more familiar. Another way to help is to use systems and routines. Life is full of uncertainty. It can be hard to predict what is going to happen. It helps to use clear systems and routines so that an autistic person knows what to expect. You can also help by reducing uncertainty. Sometimes changes have to happen.
We will go and have a look in just a second. What are we doing? Are you doing painting tomorrow afternoon? Yes, you are, aren't you? You're doing painting. Yes, definitely tomorrow afternoon.
It helps to give clear, accurate information and be willing to go over it as many times as the person needs to feel certain about what will happen.
What do after that?
After that, you're going to go home.
Coping with changes is easier if you know all about them and have the opportunity to ask questions. It helps to use preparation. When you know in advance what is going to happen, it helps to prepare an autistic person by telling them what to expect and what they need to do.
I will wait for the number 27 Inverness
Bus.
I will buy a ticket to Inverness bus.
What's up?
I will walk from the bus station to the post.
What's up? It's
I will wait for the 8A.
bus up.
I will buy a ticket.
It can also be useful to prepare by actually practicing events in advance. This can really help for events which are out of the ordinary. Another way to help is to pause and explain. It's not always possible to prepare in advance. Sometimes events are unexpected. When the unexpected happens, it helps to pause and try to explain.
That was a loud noise. All the air rushed out of the balloon and it went pop. All the air has gone out of the balloon now, so it has stopped making a noise. Everything is okay now.
So, a brief summary of ways to help autistic people cope with changes day to day. It helps to give extra time to adapt. We often need longer to get used to new situations. It's good to use systems and routines. Knowing what to expect can really help. It's always good to reduce uncertainty. Clear information and being able to ask questions helps with this. Prepare as much as possible, especially for unusual events. Reading stories and practicing are likely to help. When the unexpected does happen, it helps to pause and explain what is going on. Now, a special section on coping with major life events. Coping with really big changes can be especially challenging. Things like the birth of a new child in the family, moving house, relationships breaking down or new relationships forming, going into hospital, or the death of a familiar person can be very unsettling, and autistic adults and children may not react in the ways other people expect. It helps to be clear. We sometimes get around uncomfortable subjects by saying things that could be quite confusing if taken literally. So, even though it may be very difficult, it's important to explain the facts as clearly as possible. It also helps to prepare when this is possible. Just like with smaller changes, it really helps to prepare for big changes if you know about them in advance.
You come in for your operation. Now, when you go in for your operation, you're going to get a thing called a general anaesthetic. That's a big word, isn't it? And that means that you get to be all sleepy before your operation. So would you like to play pretend hospitals and we can see what it might be like? Would you? Oh, great.
But can Lily and Lewis be the patient?
That is a brilliant idea. Why don't you put Lily up here? Now let's get everything ready. Now we're going to need a plastic mask. So I thought we could use one of these that I washed earlier, yogurt pots. And we need a tube. Take this out of the juice cup. Big tube. A bit of blue tack. And a bottle of pretend sleepy gas. Okay, so Mummy's just going to put this together. Give them this wee mask. And I'll stick this in here. And would you like to cuddle in Lily while I give her the general anaesthetic? That's a good girl, thank you. And we just gently put it over her mouth and you breathe in and then out like that. And the mask sometimes smells like felt tip pens. Isn't that funny? Breathe in again and out. I think she's starting to look really sleepy, don't you? Want to cuddle her in?
Yeah.
I'll take the wee mask. Oh, that's really nice. I think she's going to sleep. I think she'll be ready for operation.
Another way to help is to tell the story. Even if there is a chance to prepare, it is very hard for an autistic person to imagine what life will be like after the change. If an event happens without warning, it can be even more challenging to accept and adapt to the new situation. You can help by telling the story of what has happened many times.
It kind of a spell kind of backfired in his face.
Oh dear, that doesn't sound very nice. And so that's why he's had to go to hospital until he feels better.
This can help with making sense of what has happened and learning to cope with the change. This is true even if the events are unpleasant or upsetting to think about. One of the most important ways to help is patience. It can take an autistic person a long time to get used to a major change. It helps to be patient, even if they bring up the subject over and over or a long time afterwards.
I have a new teacher. I have a new teacher. I have a new teacher. I have a new teacher.
So, a brief summary of ways to help autistic people cope with major life events. Firstly, be clear and specific and literal about what has happened. It's also important to prepare whenever that's possible. The more practice and preparation there is for an event, the easier it is to cope with. If an event can't be prepared for, then tell the story. Allow the person to talk about it and talk about it with them. Finally, it helps to exercise patience. It can take a long time for an autistic person to really adjust to a change.